Okay, so recording has been started. Let's move to the Excel file in which we do our practical sums. I'll be putting across some practical sums in front of you today for the Gordon's model, which is also been regarded as the Gordon's growth model and also been regarded as the dividend discount model. As I have already stated to all of you last time around, my fellas and fellies, that this dividend discount model is very rational as compared to other models widely followed as well by the industry experts, by the people who are there in the finance fraternity for finding the value of the shares. Now, why this model is more rational as compared to various other models built on the dividend discounting modeling? Because the argument which is presented by this model no is very simple to understand, and it is very logical as well. It says that whatever the amount of dividend you get from the shares, let's try to find the present value of all those dividends. And the present value of all the dividends which the company is supposed to pay on these shares, it should be the price of the equity share, as simple as that. So that's why it sounds very logical too, and the mathematical calculation is also not very uh, it is not something which is based on many assumptions. That's why it has been widely accepted model. Sharing my screen with all of you. I'm there on my Excel file. Everyone should writing this along with me, and you will tell me that what type of a formula of Gordon's model we are going to apply over here. Okay, let's take a very simple example. Say if Mr. Ritik Roshan will pay 2 rupees per dividend per share as a dividend from his company. Okay, now say his cost of equity is 14 percentage, and the equity shareholders who are there in this company, say, let me put this is company only limited, Mr. Ritik Roshan Limited will pay 2 rupees per dividend, per share a dividend from his company. So I need to reduce this. Okay, his cost of equity is 14 percentage. Here in this case, growth rate expectation is not there at all. I mean, the people who are investing in the shares, they are not expecting any growth rate from this dividend. How did we come to know that? Because it's not given to us in the question. If any of the information would have been given to us in the question to find the growth rate or something, we would have taken it. But in this case, there is no information from which we can find the growth rate. So now this is the sum of no growth rate expectations. Now we'll have to just discount it as the perpetuity that we were doing. What was the perpetuity? Perpetuity was cash inflow or outflow. Inflow भी हो सकता है, outflow भी हो सकता है. Some of the people call it an installment as well. Some of the people call it as something else as well. So whatever the amount that we are paying or that we are receiving divided by the rate of return, that was the perpetuity formula we were using to find the present value of perpetual annuity. So here in this case as well, we are going to use the same formula. Why we are taking it perpetual? Because we are not aware about the fact that up to what number of years this company is going to survive, up to what number of years this company is going to pay the dividend. So there is absolutely no such information given to us. So instead of cash inflow or outflow, we are putting dividend. Same formula we are using, and instead of rate of return, we are putting cost of equity. Now nothing is left. We'll have to just put the dividend, that is 2, cost of equity, that is 0.14. Though I know the answer, I need the answer from my students because I want to know that whether they are doing or not. Can someone give me the answer from there, guys? Everyone, please use your calculator and brain if you have any. Obviously, brain so you have, calculator you might not have. Start using it. तब तक मैं चाय की चुस्की ले लेता हूँ. What is the answer coming, everyone? Simple. No rocket science in this. People are writing it over here in this, but the problem is that no, Chandni, I don't think that should be the answer. 14.29, surely? Yes, you might be right. 14.29. Others may verify this. There is nothing there. Just 2 divided by 0.14. What is there in that? So that means this particular share is deserving the price of 14.29 as far as the dividends are concerned. I mean, if you try to find the present value of all the dividends which you are receiving from this company, the price should be 14.29. But actual market price may be higher than this, may be lower than this. Say if the actual market price is at 12 rupees per share, then whether you should invest in this share or not, who will tell me? Please unmute yourself and let me know.
No, sir.
Okay, good. What could be the reason behind it? If you can explain it further. Actual market price is 12. 14, it should be. Now, one person has said, no, sir, we shouldn't invest over here. So, what is the reason why we shouldn't? And if someone else is having the different opinion, they may present it over here too. Question to everyone. Sneha is of the opinion that yes, sir, we should invest. Anyone else having a different opinion? Miss Chandni is of the opinion it's undervalued. Absolutely correct, Miss Chanvi. Mr. Bhavya, Miss Bhavya, Miss Ishita, Mr. Sagar, what's your opinion on this? Mr. Yes Square. So I wanted to repeat it again. As stated by Miss Neha and Miss Chandni, it's perfectly correct that this is very undervalued stock because right now the current market price we have is 12. It deserves 14.29 based on the dividend. And if the current market price is just 12, then we should invest it because current market price is undervalued, and undervalued stock is something which deserves the price of 14.29 based on the dividend discounting. So that's why we should invest it. If we just take this criteria and parameter for investment, there could be various other parameters as well. It's not something that is black and white nahi hai beta ye picture, either black or white नहीं. और भी बहुत सारी चीजें देखनी होती है इसमें. तो कलर्स आते हैं, 1000 नंबर्स ऑफ कलर्स आते हैं. बहुत सारे और चीजें देख के एक्चुअल की बात अलग है, सम्स की बात अलग है. ओके, so that is the one thing we have done. Now let's move to another question. I'm taking the question. I'm sorry, I'm taking the question from here and we'll be solving over there. Just give me 1 second. क्या है कि हमें वहां पे घड़ी घड़ी जाना ना पड़े. घड़ी घड़ी जाएंगे तो फिर बच्चे बोलेंगे कि सर कितना रोटेट करते हो आप, फिर मजा नहीं आ रहा. Okay, so everyone start reading this question. I hope this question is visible to everyone. ABC Limited is currently paying, I don't know why these people are not being creative. ABC XYZ क्या नाम होते हैं ये? उनको थोड़ी सी तो अकल होनी चाहिए कि कुछ तो क्रिएटिव करें. पता नहीं क्यों ऐसा करते हैं. ABC Limited is currently paying the dividend of 10 per share. Okay, we got it. The rate of investment is 15% and dividend payout ratio is 60%. Okay. The required rate of return of shareholders is 18%. If the shares of the company are now selling at 100 rupees, should we buy the shares or not? Now, to apply the dividend discounting model, we require two things. One is the dividend, another one is the cost of equity. In other words, we may say that is nothing but the required rate of return of shareholders, that is 18%. Both this information are given to us. बहुत ही सही है. अब तक बहुत अच्छा जा रहा है. लेकिन कुछ इंफॉर्मेशन दी हुई है और भी. और अगर आप में से कोई भी उस अदर इंफॉर्मेशन को क्रैक करके मुझे बता सकते हो कि वो इंफॉर्मेशन क्यों दी हुई है, जैसे कि ये जो रेट ऑफ इन्वेस्टमेंट है वो 15% है, ये जो डिविडेंड पे आउट रेशियो है वो 60% है, ये क्यों दिया हुआ है, किस लिए दिया हुआ है, इसका लॉजिक क्या है, थोड़ा सा समझने की कोशिश कीजिए और बताने की भी कोशिश कीजिए. कोई बता सकता है मुझे? अपना समय लीजिए. एनीवन? उस इंफॉर्मेशन से हमें क्या मिल सकता है? ऐसी तो क्या खास बात है उस इंफॉर्मेशन में जिसके लिए हम अटक रहे हैं? ऐसी तो क्या
डिविडेंड पूरा नहीं दिया शायद.
डिविडेंड क्या नहीं दिया? पूरा नहीं दिया.
जी सर, मतलब खाली पे आउट नहीं, पूरे पे आउट पूरा 100% नहीं हुआ इसलिए.
Okay, anyone else having a different opinion? Something else to say? कुछ तो बात है इस इंफॉर्मेशन में भैया जिसके कारण हम थोड़े से अटक रहे हैं. हम ऐसा लग रहा है कि कुछ और भी हो सकता है सब में. एक हिंट दूं मैं? अगर आपको ग्रोथ रेट नहीं दिया होता है तो आप ग्रोथ रेट कैसे फाइंड करते हो? जरा जरा रिकॉल करने की कोशिश करो फॉर्मूला को. Please try to recall the formula of the growth rate of dividend. If the growth rate of dividend is not given to you, what information you should have to find the growth rate? Anyone? Okay, so last time around I had stated that there is a formula of the growth rate of dividend, and the formula of the growth rate of dividend is retained earnings multiplied by ROI, that is rate of investment on return on investment, rate of return on investment, sorry. So what is this G? That is the growth rate. This is the growth rate expected by the equity shareholders on the shares. Why they expect the growth rate? They would say that, see, Mr. ABC Limited, if you are keeping my money with you in form of retained earnings, then whatever the percentage of return which you earn on the retained earnings, that is ROI, you should give that to me as a growth rate, because see, I am not taking the money with me right now. You are keeping it. We may call it a retention ratio instead of retained earnings, please. Retention ratio. Please modify a bit to avoid the confusion. So whatever the money on which I have a right to get as a dividend, you are keeping it with you. That is only the retained earnings, right? You are keeping that money with you. So what amount which you earn from that retained earnings, what percentage which you earn on that retained earnings, I want that percentage as a growth rate. Because I had the two alternatives, one to take the dividend, another one to keep it with you. If I'll be taking the dividend, then there would be a distribution of a dividend which you are doing 10 rupees. And the money which you are keeping with yourself, on that too I have expectations because it's my money only. Ultimately, I am the owner of the business. I am the equity shareholder. So whatever the money which you are keeping with you, what return you get on it? Give me that growth rate. Okay. So retention ratio is nothing but 1 minus dividend payout ratio multiplied by ROI, rate of return on investment. So 1 minus dividend payout ratio would be 1 minus, can someone tell me what is the dividend payout ratio we have? 60%, right here. So we may write it as 0.6 equal to ROI stands for rate of return on investment. That is 15% here in the second information it is given corner. So I'm writing 0.15. So there has to be 0.4 multiplied by 0.15. Can someone tell me the answer here? I know it.
0.06.
Absolutely correct. 0.06. That is the growth rate expected from the dividends. So that means on every year basis, my dividend should be increased by 6% from now onwards. Today you are giving me 10 rupees, it's perfectly fine. But from next year onwards, you will be increasing 6% on it. Simple. Next to next year, again, you will be increasing my dividend at 6%. So there is an expectation of growth rate on the dividend. My dividend should be increased over a period of time at 6% growth rate, which is constant. Now, the formula we have as per Gordon's model, when we have a constant growth rate, is the price equal to D1 plus G in bracket KE minus G. So D stands for the dividend per share, that is 10 rupees. 1 plus G stands for the growth rate. Growth rate is 0.06. I'm not writing it in percentage as of now to avoid the calculation mistakes. KE stands for the cost of equity. The expected rate of return of the shareholders is 18%, which is cost of equity. So I'm writing 0.18 minus 0.06. Let's solve the numerator. 10 multiplied by 1.06, and in denominator we'll be having 0.12. Can someone give me the answer of this?
$88.33.
88.33. Very true. Is everyone getting the same answer? Please verify that. Miss Chitra, Miss Chandni, Miss Neha, Mr. Yash, everyone start doing it. Now the question is not over yet. There is one more information, that is, if the shares of the company are now selling at 100, should we buy the shares or not? Now putting across the question to all of you, should we buy this share at 100 rupees or not? Can someone tell me by unmuting yourself? Everyone? The shares deserves the price of 88.33, but right now the actual market price is 100. Whether we should buy the shares or not, very simple question to all of you who are listening to me. Anyone? Everyone? No, because this is the overvalued stock. Overvalued stock. The deserving price is 88, actual price is 100, stock is overvalued. Straight away say no to this company, that we cannot invest, we should not invest. Let's move to the next question. People may take a snap of it if you want to. One more question on the similar lines which you people are going to solve right now, and then I will go to Bahubali Kinda sum, where few more adjustments will happen. Copying the sum again, taking it over here for your better understanding. Okay, so sum is visible. The equity stock of Rax Limited is currently selling for 30 per share. Okay, so current market price is given to us. What should be that we are supposed to find as per the Gordon's growth model? The dividend expected next year is 2 per share. Okay, got it. The investors' required rate of return is 15%. Okay, so that means this is K cost of equity. In case of a constant growth rate, what percentage of a growth is expected from the company? Okay. Okay, so here we have a bit different question. It's not something which is very easy to do so. What we have in this case is that as per the Gordon's model, they have given us the market price, which is 30. See the information which is being asked from our side, no? That we should understand. The dividend expected next year is 2 rupees. Got it. The investor's required rate of return is 15%. K is also given to you. In case of a constant growth rate, so there is a constant growth rate as well, which is also given to you. But what constant growth is expected from the company if they want to keep the market price 30? So one of the variables of the formula that we are supposed to find here is the growth rate. And to find the growth rate, we should have all other variables to simplify the question. So how? Let's see that. So here we have the market price as per Gordon's model equal to D in bracket 1 plus G divided by K minus G. Now please try to understand. The dividend expected next year is given to you. That means current year's growth is already included. You include 1 plus G only in the case where the growth rate effect of the current year is not given. If the growth rate effect of the current year is already given, and it is straight away telling to you that this is the expected dividend of the next year only, that means current year's growth expectation is already been taken into account and consideration. So we have this entire numerator with us, this one. I hope you are getting it, because it's written over here. It's not written that it's current year's dividend. It's here expected next year. That means current year's dividend growth rate is also been taken into account. Very little adjustment. Okay, so the market price that we should keep is 30 equal to dividend is 2. That is the entire numerator. I am not again giving the effect of G because it is already next year's expected dividend, as I have already stated. Required rate of return of the shareholder is 0.15, and we are supposed to find the G, that is the growth rate. Now simplify this and you will get the answer of G. So therefore, taking this over there on the left hand side, 0.15 minus G multiplied by 30 equal to 2. Can someone give me the final answer? I do not want to solve this further now. Once you get the final answer, please update me with that. Giving you 30 seconds to everyone. Once you get the answer, please give me. I hope the silence is not perpetual in nature. It will be broken. मेरे करण अर्जुन आएंगे, मेरे बच्चे मुझे जवाब देंगे. The eternal faith I have on all of you. $8.33 is the answer given by Miss Sneha. Is everyone else getting the same answer? Please check it out. Mr. Dhananjay, Mr. Yash, and everyone else, Mr. Jay. Okay. So Bhavya, I'm not using the Miss or Mr. along with you because I'm not knowing the gender. 8.33. Okay, who is the boy and who is the girl in this? Bhavya Kamdar is a boy or girl? For my, okay, boy, got it. Got it, got it. Thank you. So Mr. Bhavya has given me the answer. Bhavya and Bhavya. Got it. Anyone else? Okay, so everyone is getting 8.33 only. So I hope all of those would be right. So 8.33 percentage is the growth rate expectations which anyone should keep if the price is 30 and expected return from investment as a KE is 15 percentage. Right? So now let's move to a question where there would be a fun, where there would be something which will be challenging your intellect. Let me take a question. अब अगर आप बैठे हुए हो तो थोड़ा सा सतेज हो जाइए, थोड़ा सा अलर्ट हो जाइए, क्योंकि अब आ रहा है बाहुबली काइंड ऑफ अ क्वेश्चन putting in front of you. Yeah, let me take it over here. Okay, so everyone, along with me, you may start reading this question. What is there? We will see that later on. But first of all, we should understand it very properly. Along with me, you may start reading. Vardhaman Limited's earnings and dividends have been growing at 18%. Okay, got it. Next information. It is expected to continue for 4 years. So 18% growth rate is only for the 4 years. Okay. After that, growth rate will fall to 12% for the next 4 years. Okay, so for next 4 years, the growth rate expectation is going to be 12% from this Vardhaman Limited. Thereafter, the growth rate is expected to be 6% forever. So from the 8th year onwards, effectively from 9th year's beginning onwards, the growth rate expectations will be settled. That will remain constant for rest of the life of equity shareholders, which will be 6%. But for the initial 4 years, it's 18. For next 4 years, that means from 5th year to 8th year, it would be 12%, and from 9th year onwards, it would be 6%. Okay. The last dividend is 2 rupees. Got it. The required rate of return of investors is 15%. That means KE is given to you. What is the intrinsic value of share if the same share is currently selling at 35 rupees? Then shall we buy the share or not? Two questions are there. One is, what is the intrinsic value of the share as per dividend growth model? Another question is, if the same share is currently selling at 35 rupees, then whether we should invest in that share or not. Now, how can we do this? What can we do over here? Till now, the questions that we have done, no, those questions were asking very constant growth rate from our side. If there was a constant growth rate, you could have applied one simple formula. You could have find the sum. You could have find the solution of that sum. But here in this case, the growth rate is being changed. It's changing. For initial 4 years different, then again 4 years different, and then again from 9 years onwards to the rest of the life, it's 6% forever. What can we do? Can someone give me a potential solution to this? I'm taking the suggestion from you. Absolutely correct. Even if you make the mistake, please guess it. Everyone. What can we do? Can someone offer me an alternative solution to this? You may guess it. That's perfectly fine. ये कोई एग्जामिनेशन थोड़ी है. मैं तो पूछ रहा हूँ आपसे, फ्रैंकली पूछ रहा हूँ. बताइए मुझे, कुछ आपके ध्यान में आ रहा हो तो. Everyone, Miss Vidya, Mr. Yash, Miss Ishita, Mr. Sagar. Can we? Okay, so first we should understand that how many number of stages are given to you for the growth rate. There are 3 stages given to you, as I have stated to all of you. Stage number 1 is year number 1 to 4, then year number 5 to 8, then 9th year onwards. So it is a 3-stage growth model. How can we find the 3-stage growth models? Share price. We'll be able to do that, don't worry. So here we have 18%. In 5th to 6th, 8th year we have 12%, and here we have 6%. Now the blanket formula which we are applying to everyone under the same umbrella, which cannot be applied over here in this case because growth rate is being changed. ग्रोथ रेट हर बार चेंज हो रहा है, 3 स्टेज में चेंज हो रहा है. तो हम पहला काम ये करेंगे कि जहां तक हमारी नजर पहुंच रही है, हमारी दूरदृष्टि, दीर्घदृष्टि जहां तक जा रही है, वहां तक दूरदर्शन करने की कोशिश करते हैं. दूरदर्शन करने की कोशिश मतलब कि वहां तक का डिविडेंड हम फाइंड करने की कोशिश करते हैं. हमारी दीर्घदृष्टि कहां तक जा रही है? हमारी दीर्घदृष्टि अब ये 8th नंबर के ईयर तक जा रही है. अब तक सभी महाशय और मोहतरमा समझने की कोशिश कीजिए. हमारी दीर्घदृष्टि यहां तक जा रही है, यहां तक हम डिविडेंड पर शेयर फाइंड कर सकते हैं. उसके बाद में क्या है कि कितने नंबर ऑफ साल है वो फाइंड नहीं कर सकते, क्योंकि अब वो कहां तक एंड होगा उसका कोई हमें समय पीरियड मालूम नहीं है. तो हमारी दीर्घदृष्टि 8वें साल तक तो पहुंच रही है, तब तक का कैलकुलेशन फाइंड करके डिविडेंड फाइंड करते हैं और उस डिविडेंड को डिस्काउंट कर देंगे भैया, क्योंकि हमारा तो काम ही यही है डिस्काउंट करना. हमारा तो काम ही यही है कि हमें फाइंड करना है प्रेजेंट वैल्यू. तो प्रेजेंट वैल्यू करना फाइंड, उसका मतलब यही तो हुआ कि डिस्काउंटिंग करना. तो जहां जहां तक डिविडेंड मिल रहा है, जहां जहां तक हमारी दीर्घदृष्टि जा रही है, वहां वहां तक के डिविडेंड हम फाइंड करेंगे. वहां वहां तक के डिविडेंड हम फाइंड करके इधर लिखेंगे और वहां वहां तक के डिविडेंड को हम डिस्काउंट करेंगे. उसके बाद वाले डिविडेंड्स के ऊपर बाद में आते हैं। उसको इग्नोर तो बिल्कुल ही करना नहीं है, मैं नहीं कह रहा हूं कि उसको इग्नोर कर देना है, लेकिन जितना मालूम है उतना तो करते हैं पहले। ओके, शुरू करते हैं, प्रारंभ किया जाए ईयर नंबर 1 से लेके ईयर नंबर 8 तक। सो आई एम राइटिंग द ईयर्स ओवर हियर फर्स्ट। 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Okay, then what I'm supposed to find from this case is the dividend. Okay, so last year's dividend is given to us, right? Last year's dividend is how much? Can someone tell me from this sum if you can? Please unmute yourself and let me know. Let's not make it a monologue. We want the dialogue. We want a discussion. Is any information given to us here? Unmute yourself and let me know. All of you. ₹2. Yes, Miss Chitra, you could have unmuted yourself. There is nothing wrong in that. Okay. So ₹2 is the last year's dividend. So what is current year's dividend? We need to add the growth rate of current year to get the dividend of the current year. So current year's growth rate is 2 multiplied by 1 point, कितना growth rate है भैया? 18%. So 2 multiplied by 1.18. That would be the dividend of the current year, right? Then whatever the amount which you will be getting in this first year, no, on that again you will get 18%. So that we may call it as 2 multiplied by 1.18 square. So that we will get the dividend of the second year. Okay. Then third year ka dividend we may get as 2 multiplied by 1.18 raised to 3. So third year's dividend we will get. Okay. Fourth year's dividend would be 2 multiplied by 1.18 raised to 4. Now please try to identify here that up to year number 4 we have the constant growth rate, that is 18%. From that the growth rate is being changed, that is 12%. So can someone tell me what will be the fifth year in this case if we go with this flow? Unmute yourself and let me know. I want to get the answers from everyone. All of you? Guess it. No, I'm not telling to you that you must have the accurate answer. That's perfectly fine.
Sir, please show the question.
Please show the question. So this is what you want to see. Nothing much left in the question actually, because we have written it over here. From this information itself you may find it. For initial 4 years it was 18%. From 5th to 8th year
2
we
into
have 12%.
1.12.
2 into 1.184 multiplied by 1.12, that is the answer of 5th year. Because see, 4th year का dividend तो 5वें साल में मिलना ही वाला है, लेकिन उसके ऊपर 12% और मिलेंगे. यस और नो?
यस सर.
और 5वें साल का डिविडेंड है वो 6वें साल में मिलने ही वाला है, लेकिन उसके ऊपर और एक 1.12% मिलेंगे. तो ये तो उधर आएगा ही, 5वें वाला है वो 6वें साल में आएगा ही. तो 2 multiplied by 1.18 raised to 4 multiplied by 1.12 raised to 2. 7th year का डिविडेंड would be 2 multiplied by 1.18 raised to 4 multiplied by 1.12 raised to 3. And 8th year's dividend would be 2 multiplied by 1.18 raised to 4 multiplied by 1.12 raised to 4. ये सभी का आप फाइंड करोगे तो आपको डिविडेंड मिलेगा उस साल का। अच्छा, आपको अगर ऐसा नहीं करना था तो आप क्या कर सकते थे? आप ऐसा भी कर सकते थे, 2 के ऊपर आपने 18% ऐड कर दिया तो पहले वाला साल का मिला। सो दैट कम्स एट से 2.36। अब 2.36 के ऊपर आप फिर से 18% ऐड करोगे तो आपको कौन से वाला मिलेगा? ईयर नंबर 2 मिलेगा। फिर आप उसके ऊपर फिर से 18% ऐड करोगे तो ईयर नंबर 3 का मिलेगा, फिर ईयर नंबर 4 का मिलेगा। दैट कैन ऑल्सो बी अ ऑल्टरनेटिव वे। So whatever the way you want to adopt, that's entirely up to you. So everyone, please give me the answers of the dividend of all the 8 years. 2.2 multiplied by 1.18. Please unmute yourself and let me know, everyone. So first one comes at 2.36. Second one comes at how much? Tell me.
2.78.
2.78. The third one comes at
3.28.
3.28. I hope everyone is doing it in your calculator. And if you can do it in your brain, it would be better. Now 3.28 के ऊपर फिर से
3.87.
3.87. गुड। अब है ना 3.87 में सिर्फ 12% ही ऐड करो। 3.87 में 12% ऐड करो, क्या आता है?
2.17.
4.17, no?
Yes, 4.17.
ओके, 4.17 में और 12% ऐड करो।
No, sir, sorry, 4.34.
फिफ्थ वाला 4.34 आ रहा है।
Yes.
Okay, is everyone getting the same answers? Please verify that further.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Sneha, Dhananjay, everyone keep doing it and let me know if the answers are different. Yes, mister, please move ahead.
4.86.
4.86. Second last.
So 5.43.
5.43. And the last one is
6.09.
6.09. Okay. So now this is the dividend we have got, but our कहानी is not over yet. हमारी अधूरी कहानी है, क्योंकि हमें इसका डिस्काउंट करना है, इसकी प्रेजेंट वैल्यू फाइंड करनी है। हमें कितना कितना डिविडेंड मिलने वाला है हर एक साल में 8 साल तक, वो तो हमने फाइंड कर लिया, लेकिन उस डिविडेंड का प्रेजेंट वैल्यू क्या है? तो प्रेजेंट वैल्यू फाइंड करने के लिए हमें उसको डिस्काउंटिंग फैक्टर से मल्टीप्लाई करना होता है। डिस्काउंटिंग फैक्टर। डिविडेंड कितना मिलेगा दूसरे साल में, तीसरे साल में, चौथे साल में, ये फाइंड कर लिया, सही बात है, अब तक सही जा रहा है सब कुछ। लेकिन उस डिविडेंड जो मिलने वाला है उसकी प्रेजेंट वैल्यू क्या है, और प्रेजेंट वैल्यू कौन से ऊपर हमें डिस्काउंट करना है, तो कौन से वाले रेट से डिस्काउंट करना है? आफ्टर टेकिंग द एक्सपेक्टेशंस ऑफ इक्विटी शेयर होल्डर्स। So expectations of equity shareholder, the required rate of return of investor is 15% in this case. So 15% से हमें उसका डिस्काउंट करना है। Can someone tell me the formula of discounting factor? 1 divided by 1.15. So that is nothing but 1 divided by 1 plus r raised to n. अब क्या करना, आप मैं आपको कैलकुलेटर में शॉर्टकट देता हूं। 1 डिवाइडेड बाई 1.15 किया तो इक्वल टू करोगे तो पहले साल का मिलेगा, फिर से इक्वल टू करोगे तो दूसरे साल का मिलेगा, फिर से इक्वल टू करोगे तो तीसरे साल, फिर से इक्वल टू चौथा साल, फिर से इक्वल टू पांचवा साल, इक्वल टू प्रेस करते जाना है। एक बार 1 डिवाइडेड बाय 1.15 किया, उसके बाद में सिर्फ इक्वल टू प्रेस करते जाना है और कुछ नहीं। तो जैसे इक्वल टू प्रेस करोगे नेक्स्ट ईयर का आपको डिस्काउंटिंग फैक्टर मिल जाएगा। So give me the discounting factor and today we'll complete it by by this point only। उससे ज्यादा हमें नहीं जाना है क्योंकि फिर बहुत ज्यादा समय चला जाएगा। It's already 10:20। I hope you have got how to find the discounting factor. 1 divided by 1.15, and why I have taken 1.15, because 15% is the expectations of equity shareholders from ours. So that is the KE, and we are going to discount it by KE only. So this is my future value. You multiply the future value with discounting factor, so you get the last column will be of the present value. So here I'll be having the present value. So find the discounting factors here and find the present value over here. How will you be able to find the present value? Future value multiplied by discounting factor. So you get the present value. So that will be continuing in the next lecture, not stretching it further for today because you will be having a next session as well. So that is it from my side. We will be continuing this sum next time onwards.